Okay, listen, you've been doing the event for 7 years.
Well, let's talk about Bitcoin.
Yeah. But no, I was going to say, I'm going to throw in a question related to that. So in that 7 years, do you think running an event gives you a different perspective on Bitcoin?
I don't know the answer to that. I don't think so.
No.
I don't think so. I'm involved with well, maybe it does because I'm involved with a lot more people than the average person is. For instance, if it wasn't for my event, would I be here right now talking to you? Or would I know how to call Preston tomorrow and say, hey, what is my dream? I mean, would I know these things or know these people that I've had conversations with, that maybe now they don't seem like they were that big of a deal, but really they were. I'm just like taking it for granted, which I think people do, naturally when they're in a situation or have something going on. It's like, Michael Saylor probably takes it for granted that he has 5 yachts, where I would go, oh my gosh, I got 5 yachts, So probably it's put me in touch with people and in contact with people, just like I was saying, doing the podcast would, that I would call up people to do interviews with so I could find out the answers to things. But this puts me in much more touch, and I go to events now and meet other people that I get to talk to and find out what they think about something and find out opportunities. I probably had a lot of doors open for me and a lot of opportunities to do different things or get involved with startups or things like that I wouldn't have had otherwise. So yeah. I guess it does.
With the event, do you do the programming around what you think people want to hear, or do you do it based around what you want to hear?
It's based around what I want to hear.
Yeah.
I kind of have always thought, I think everybody has a superpower.
Okay.
I mean, most people just don't know what their superpower is, or they don't do anything that their superpower would be effective in. And my superpower, I've always said this my whole life, is looking at stuff like an average Joe.
Yeah.
No matter how much I'm involved with it, when I look at it, I'm like, oh. And so I've always gone with this conference that if I like it, majority of people are going to like it.
Yeah.
Because I'm pretty average Joe when you get down to it. Maybe I've had opportunities open for me, but when you get down to it, I'm pretty average Joe. And so if I like it, 70% of the people probably would like it. Maybe there's 30% that don't, but most of the people will. And so that's what I do, is I try to get people there that I want. I limit the amount of times you can speak to 3 in a row.
Okay.
Because if not, you're going to have the same people over and over. People, I'm not going to that event. Same 10 people are there. I've already seen. So I try to switch it up. So I force a switch. And then if you have that as a rule, no one can kind of take it personal that they're not invited back.
Yeah.
You can go, the 3 rules up. You got to skip a year before you can come back. Oh, yeah, I understand the 3 rule.
That's something we're going to learn. Stand on the shoulder of giants. Yeah, no, I understand that. I mean, that's what I always did with the pod, Gary. I always spoke to the people I wanted to speak to about the things I wanted to speak about, and hopefully other people like it.
Yeah, I found that most people. I got another superpower.
Yeah, you got 2.
I got 2. I'm very fortunate. I can take a piece of wood. Now, if you had a 2x4 and a saw, I can take that and cut it in half within 1/8 of an inch without measuring it.
What?
Yeah, and I'd be willing to put money on that.
Why didn't you bring a saw, Danny?
But I can and I'm one of those guys that do things 85% of the way anyway. So when I build something, I can just cut the wood, and it's going to be close enough to work.
Hold on. So if I say cut it at 3 inches, you can get it.
But you told me to cut it in half. I could.
Oh, in half.
Yeah.
And do you just go by sight?
Yes. I just look at it and cut.
How did you figure that superpower out?
Well, I don't know. I just never cut. So my wife would always go, "You need to measure that thing." I said, "No, I just got to cut this in half." And I cut it in half. And one day I think we measured it. She goes, "Damn, that is in half."
What's your superpower?
But if I was a carpenter now, I would probably be a hell of a carpenter because my superpower would come in handy. But since I don't cut wood ever.
I think if you were a carpenter, you would have a tape measure, though, just in case.
Probably wouldn't need it, though. Because if I'm good enough to do it now, think how good it'd be if I cut wood every day.
What if you
only if you cut it in half.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No matter what size, you just have to keep cutting in half till you got to the size
I couldn't really cut 3 inches off the end and be within 1/8 of an inch, but I can cut it in half.
Yeah. So when you're planning the house, it probably have to be a perfect square. Everything would have to be square.
So I cut it in half.
Yeah. Everything in every room would either would be halfway through it or a quarter.
Well, I'd hire someone else to do the angles.
Yeah. No, that's the quarter guy. Danny, what's your superpower?
I don't know. I don't know if I figured it out.
You got one. Everybody's got one.
Danny's superpower. It's Danny's superpower. Danny never, ever loses his temper.
Yeah, I don't.
Never loses control, ever.
Not
Yeah,
even
I
when
don't
the gang, you don't like lose it with the herd. A lot of people don't do something, but then when the herd is doing it, that they'll do it with the herd. Because the herd is awful powerful. Like people on the street getting in a riot. The herd, they would never go up and hit somebody, but the herd is doing
like
it. So,
the kind of mob mentality thing.
yeah.
I don't
That's
know.
what I call the herd. Yeah, mob
Yeah.
mentality.
I don't know. I don't get angry, but I don't know if that's a superpower.
Danny's the calmest person I think I've ever met.
My wife says I constantly operate at 7.
Yeah, you're like Kieran Trippier. You're the Kieran Trippier of producers.
Whereas she's either like a 2 or a 10, so we balance each other out pretty well.
Kieran Trippier is never an 8, but he's never a 6.
Yeah.
He's always a 7. He's a footballer.
Okay.
Yeah, he's Mr. Consistent.
Oh, I looked something up for you the other day.
Okay, what's this?
Well, you were, when I saw you at Pacific,
Yeah.
and we had a discussion, I said soccer. And you said, and I think you joked when you said football.
It wasn't a joke.
So I looked it up. Why in the hell is it called soccer?
The English actually came up with it first.
It stands for
Really?
Associated
Yeah.
Football.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And then English evidently would add to everything. They'll have, I don't know, like beer or I don't know, pubber or something, but they add to a lot. So Associated Football, they got rid of the football and it was associated and then they made it sock for associated, because they add to stuff.
I did not know that.
So I'm not insulting the English when I say soccer. And since there was football in the U.S. already when your football came here and started getting popular, the other football was already popular, so they went to the other word.
Yeah, so I looked it up once. Why do Americans keep saying soccer? And it came up that the English invented it.
How disappointing.
Yeah, it was a real disappointment. I basically never admitted that because I didn't want to, I didn't want to.
So then I didn't feel
want to own
bad
it.
about saying the word soccer because it's an English term.
Yeah, but it's.
You're just being a little too hoity-toity about
You
it.
found it.
Yeah, that's so disappointing.
Yeah.
There was rugby. There was 2 footballs. There was rugby and the associated football.
Well, they still
and
call it-
rugby separated and went their own way because they couldn't agree.
They still call it rugby football sometimes, don't they?
Yes, I think they do.
In most, it'll
And
be
they
like
use
rugby
a
football
football.
club, yeah.
Yeah.
And they use a football.
They use a rugby ball.
Well, it looks like a football to me.
It's more like,
looks like
American football.
Yeah,
It's
Yeah,
like,
that's
what
why
he
I
means.
said
yeah.
Y'all use a soccer
It's
ball.
even more
Yeah.
confusing in Australia. They call rugby league, rugby, and AFL all footy.
So if you say, do you want to come down the pub and watch the footy?
I never have any idea what anyone's talking about.
Is it one of those ones that they will know which one?
Yeah.
Oh, footy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They know, but it's in different cities. It's like it means a different sport.
That reminds me of the South Park episode where they go to the planet Marklar.
I've not seen
And
it.
everyone and everything's called Marklar. And they say, I'll show you later. It's funny. Well, I appreciate you checking out a little
Well, I
bit.
didn't want to insult you if that was because I'm going, this is kind of screwy to me. Why are we calling it soccer if it's really football? And then I found out you guys made up the name. I'm going, up yours, McCormick.
You've ratted me out here, man, because I knew this and I'd never released this information because I knew it'd be a self-own.
Now the word's out. And everybody's going to go, I could have been calling it soccer all this time?
Yeah, tell Pete to fuck off. We need to get you over to Bedford for a game.
Yeah, I'd like to go.
Yeah.
I'd like to go against, and I can wear my shirt you gave me.
Yes, you can wear your shirt. Yeah, you can wear the shirt. We're doing okay this evening. We played this evening. I think you finished 5-4.
Well, you've really turned that team around.
Yep, well, it's Bitcoin. Bitcoin did it.
The cheat code.
The cheat code. Yeah, it's the cheat code. It
I
did
remember
it.
you telling me that. So.
Yeah, it has been a cheat code for that team, and it's the top of the league, and the ladies are top of their league.
That kind of goes with the cheat code, kind of goes with Bitcoin fixes everything.
It kind of
Bitcoin
is.
fixed that soccer team.
Yeah, it's yeah, but in some ways the team didn't need fixing because it was fine where it was. It was at its level because every football team's a business, and the money, however good the business is, gives it the money to sign the better players.
Right.
And so the team was at the level it should have been. So it wasn't so much it need fixed. It was more like here's an opportunity, and that's why I think cheat code people can say Bitcoin fixes it, but I think it's a different thing. It means Bitcoin's like a tool or weapon. Like you can use it for your advantage, even with things that don't need fixing.
Okay, to improve. How far are you from London?
We are So no traffic. You can drive. I drove to Heathrow in an hour and 15 minutes the
Oh.
other day, and then if you get the train in King's Cross, it's 40 minutes.
Oh, I would do that to come watch a soccer game.
We get a lot of people. We get a lot of people who've now made the pilgrimage. I reckon at least, gosh, a few hundred now at different points or another have made the pilgrimage. We're like the El Zonte of football.
Yeah, Zonte.
Yeah,
I haven't been there yet.
Oh, you should go.
My wife won't go. She's scared of terrorists down there. And stuff.
Right, there's no terrorists there.
I know. Everybody tells her that.
It's probably safer than where we are right now in Fort Worth.
We were with
Max and Stacy?
Max and Stacy, yes, thanks, in Miami. And with us was the president's niece.
Okay.
You know, she has an official business card and everything, president's niece. And doesn't say that. But anyway, telling Max and Stacy, Kathy won't go down there because of the terrorists. Blah, blah, there's nothing to that. That's crazy. And she goes, here's my card. If you come, you call me. I will have the army meet you out there at the airplane. You will not be hurt. And so still she won't go.
Let me talk to Kathy. I've traveled to a lot of places and I've been to some pretty dangerous places, and it's one of the safest places I've been. And she would have a great time down in El Zonte. Well, just don't tell her.
She's our travel agent.
Yeah, you gotta take that over on this one. Just book the flights.
Well, actually, I told Max, I said, every time I saw him, I'd say, hey, would you come to Bit Block Boom? And so I was at an event, and I saw him. He goes, I know. You're going to ask me if I'll come to Bit Block Boom. I said, hey, I'm sorry. I'm a hustler. I'm used to working.
Yeah.
You know, I wasn't born with a silver spoon in my mouth. I've had to work for everything I ever had. And he goes, well, here's the deal. If I come to Bit Block Boom, you'll have to come to my event. I said, done. So he came this year. So
Yep.
I got to go to an event when I see he's having an event. I haven't seen him have an event yet, though. So
If I see him announce one, I'm going to drop a message. Just remember, Gary Leland's got to go.
you tell him it's your event.
Kathy will be committed then.
Yeah, she would be committed.
I think you'll love it. It's really nice going. San Salvador's, it's another city, but El Zonte is truly a Bitcoin community.
I know so many people. I mean, I know people who are down there now, you know, as we speak, you know. So I know so many people who've been there a dozen times. So I feel pretty confident it's safe, but
You will be fine. I mean, I haven't been in a while. I don't even know when or if I'll go again, because I feel like I've done my time there now. I've been out there, and I want to find what's the next El Zonte and go there. But you would love it. You would love it. Maybe you just put a Bitbot Boom satellite event there. Kathy, you have to go.
oh yeah, satellite event.
Yeah.
I remember there was one of those poles that have like the arrows, you know, I'm talking about so many miles or so many miles. So I felt pretty honored one day when I saw that and they had BBB on there.
Love it.
Yeah, so that's cool. So
Love that.
yeah.